it was great to have a little time off at home in California. Surely she had earned it after such a challenging period, serving as the first Speaker of the First United Congress. Her husband could be so annoying, but sometimes he was useful. Did you want to watch the Saturday Night with the Stars show on CCCP-TV? It starts in 10 minutes. CCCP-TV was the new television and radio network formed after the Great Surprise. The old networks were in shambles after the surprise, but they found enough equipment and personnel to form one unified network from the remains of Comcast, NBC and MSNBC, CNN, CBS, and PBS. Poor ABC didn't even merit mention in the new name. Fox lost relatively more people in the surprise and was canceled by the FCC. He pointed the remote toward the large flat-screen television. Do you recall what channel number the Saturday Night with the Stars show was on? He could be such a dunce. It's on every channel. The only network left is CCCP-TV, and they are broadcasting the same thing on all the channels available across the U.S. She paused. Would you ring for someone to bring us ice cream? The recorded video segment ended, and the broadcast returned to the live feed from Studio One. The CEO of CCCP-TV had continued watching the Saturday Night with the Stars broadcast in the Truth Tower penthouse. It was amazing what carpenters and painters could accomplish in just a couple of months. Reminders of the building's discredited past ownership were removed or concealed, and a new image created, the face of truth. In fact, the word truth was evident at every possible spot in the building, through its signage and artwork, even in its elevator music and the decorative inlays in its carpet and floor tiles. On one large lobby wall, called the Wall of Truth, it appeared in metal letters 4 feet tall, and below that truth was translated, in much smaller metal letters, into every known language of the world. The CCCP-TV network slogan was, "Trust us, it's true." He had much at stake tonight. Though he'd accomplished a lot in his first few months as the CEO of CCCP-TV, he often felt like he was buried beneath Truth Tower, with the weight of the whole building pushing down on him. For the umpteenth time, he jotted down a list of his accomplishments since he was named CEO, just a month after the Great Surprise. He mentally weighed them. Fortunately, he'd known a lot of the right people from his time working at PBS and C-SPAN, and they helped him when he really needed it, though that put him under their heavy thumbs. He looked at his list and felt a little better. 1. Scour the 5 sickly sisters, to gather the best skilled technicians, equipment, and talent still available and functional after the Great Surprise. Consolidate them in one new network. 2. Make arrangements with the bankruptcy managers for the various broken networks to distribute the CCCP-TV content, and only CCCP-TV, through their global cable, satellite, and internet systems, and through their local TV station affiliates. 3. Identify the gaps and fix them, using money from the U.S. Treasury. 4. Find executive office posts or other high-paying network jobs for all the ne'er-do-well relatives of the important people in New York, Los Angeles, and D.C. 5. Quickly assemble all of this in the new studios and offices built in the repurposed building now called Truth Tower at 725 Fifth Avenue in New York. On the largest screen he would watch the actual broadcast stream. There he saw the 2 show hosts seated in Studio One, separated from each other by the mandatory plastic barrier. On the adjacent smaller screens, he saw the scheduled guest experts who were waiting in Studio 2, as well as Blitz and the camera crew on site for the Saturday Night Party live segments in Times Square. He could monitor the audio stream from any of them. After the commercial break, the broadcast switched to a split screen showing both CC and the remote crew at Times Square. The very dark area was without electricity. Large crowds with torches and other objects stood by campfires near the remote broadcast crew and larger fires were visible at several locations. CC read from the prompter. "Good evening, Blitz. What's happening at the Saturday night party live tonight?" Blitz kept looking nervously around him. He spoke calmly to the nationwide audience without betraying his fear. The New York mayor wanted an especially great party at Times Square tonight, so our television audience can see that fun times have returned to the city that never sleeps. He's hoping this will inspire tourists to start coming back to New York. Firecrackers exploded near him, but Blitz persevered. In that spirit of fun, the city purchased a generous supply of alcohol and recreational drugs and distributed them free from self-serve kiosks throughout the borough. This was very well received, and as you can see, an unusually large crowd came for the party tonight. People have definitely been following the mayor's advice to party hardy. Every few seconds, firecrackers, Roman candles, and other fireworks were visible, detonating nearby. After one rocket flashed through the air between Blitz and his camera crew, Blitz was momentarily stunned, but recovered to say, "We're okay. I hope they didn't mean to get that close to us. I expect their aim will improve with practice tonight." CC was glad to be at Truth Tower instead of Times Square. He read from the teleprompter. "I understand the mayor commanded the whole NYPD to go on unpaid furlough tonight and tomorrow, so the city could pay for the refreshments." The camera view changed to a close-up of Blitz as he spoke again. "I'm sure the cops appreciate having some time off, but I wouldn't mind seeing some police officers here right now. The self-service refreshment kiosks are completely depleted, and folks don't appear to be very happy about that. Some of these fires look to be getting out of control. We are looking into that." Blitz looked around him. The camera panned back as he updated his report. The mostly peaceful celebrants seem to be evolving into mostly peaceful protests, and people are seeking more supplies from the buildings in the area. The noisy scene erupted continuously with the sounds of explosions, gunfire, and yelling. Fireworks streaked back and forth. Blitz, clearly getting anxious, continued. "The celebrant protesters appear to be getting more agitated. I have a gentleman here who wants to speak on their behalf." A crewman held a microphone toward a masked man dressed all in black, and Blitz asked, "What's up?" The celebrant protest spokesman proclaimed, "We're tired of being given insufficient amounts of life's necessities. The inadequate supply of refreshments provided to us today was the final straw. We're taking historical reparative action against all symbols of oppressive capitalism tonight. The people are marching now, and we will start by burning our Declaration of Dependence at the capitalist temple called Trump Tower." Blitz clarified for him. "Trump Tower isn't there anymore. It was seized by the U.S. Treasury under the new Wealth Equalization Act. It has been remodeled and is now Truth Tower, the broadcast and production headquarters for CCCP-TV. The celebrant protest spokesman shrugged this off. "Whatever. Party on, Mr. Blitz dude." At Times Square, Blitz had seen enough. He turned to his lead camera tech and said, "It's too dangerous. Let's go, Brandon." The FCC's High Commissioner for Content was at home in upstate New York, watching the Saturday Night with the Stars live television broadcast while multitasking paperwork from the FCC. She was not happy. She made a note on tomorrow's calendar. Cancel CCCP-TV CEO and Advertising Department. She skimmed the joint report from the director of the CIA, FBI director, and the chairman of the United Congress Intelligence Committee. Conveniently, one United Congress member from California now held all three positions. It was yet another report of failure. The FBI failures bothered her. That nincompoop FBI director recently tried leaking a report saying the former president wasn't really a surprise seizure victim, and claiming the former president used the Great Surprise as cover to fake his own death and escape the FBI observers. using a secret escape tunnel that connected his home in Florida directly to the Kremlin. Fortunately, she canceled that story before it ran on CCCP-TV. She made a note to talk with the Speaker and Vice President about the FBI Director. They really needed someone trustworthy and capable in that position. Perhaps they should get a real professional trained in Venezuela or Cuba. People made fun of her when she talked about the vast right-wing conspiracy, but the unauthorized USA1 FBCN podcasts proved she was right all along. She wished she could have CCCP-TV broadcast a warning about dangerous subversive podcasts, but that would likely backfire on her. She slid the detritus of tonight's snack platter to the far end of her coffee table, clapped her hands twice, and made a cluck, cluck, cheep, cheep sound. That caught the attention of her 3 pet monkeys, which she'd received as a personal gift from the president of Venezuela. Her staff hated the monkeys, and the rare visitors were generally afraid of them. They did bite sometimes. But the simian trio had bonded to her, and she to them. They would sit on her lap and slept in her bedroom. They were good company, and they couldn't testify against her in any legal proceeding. The 3 monkeys practically flew across the room and devoured the snack leftovers from the platter. This has been The Great New Deal, a not-quite-fictional preview of future history, written by Mark Tradisum, narrated by David DeBerg. Copyright 2021 and 2020 by Mark C. Tradisum. Production copyright by Mark C. Tradisum.